Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is your Simply Fit Nurse. I'm going to chat today about the NASM Certified Personal Trainer exam. I just took it a little over a week ago and passed. So excited. And I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience, what I learned, some tips, tricks, information, including information about the test itself. So stick around and let's get into it. So first I wanted to chat about how I prepared for the exam. I think everybody is different. So if you're somebody who can zip through the material very quickly, memorize and pass, that is great. That is just not me. Arguably, if you do it this way, you're probably not going to retain it. And while getting certified is really the first thing you can do for your clients and not the end all be all, I think it is super essential to take that material and apply it later. So what I did is when I signed up for the exam, NASM actually gives you a recommended study pace. I think their pace was right at 12 weeks. I have to say I shortened mine a little bit and put it up to 8 weeks. I kind of pushed through those last couple of chapters to get done. I signed up and started studying the beginning of January, and I took the test the last weekend in February. So right at 8 weeks. I would say the biggest piece of advice that I have is once you sign up, you actually get, I believe it's a year before you have to take the test or the material will expire, and honestly, not sure what happens. I think you have to pay a fee, but I would just recommend scheduling your test right away. Give yourself plenty of time. I would say if you're not somebody who's familiar with the human body at all, I would say 12 weeks is probably pretty healthy because that'll give you time to go through each chapter. You can take the quizzes at the end of each chapter, which I highly recommend. Pro tip, I recommend taking them more than once because there's different questions on there, and it'll just give you time to look through all of the tables, watch all of the videos they provide, and really absorb the material. I have to say, my next piece of advice really pertains more to after you've gone through the initial material. Again, my recommendation is to read through the entire book. They do set it up for you if you choose the online platform, and it's just click and play. But at the end, after I was done, I had done all of the chapter quizzes, all of the unit quizzes, which are a couple of chapter quizzes put together, and they're 50 questions. I had even done the NASM practice exam and passed, but I gave myself an additional week after doing all of that to do supplemental studying and really diving into some of the material that I wasn't feeling 100% about or felt like I needed more in order to test appropriately. Couple of creators that I really recommend. Number one is Axiom Academy. He is on YouTube. I will link him down below. He had fantastic material about the overhead squat assessment, overactive and underactive muscles, the OPT model. Really breaks down every part of the fitness routine as a personal trainer and how to apply it to real life, which was really, really nice. Another one that I liked was Active, but it's ACT7VE. She's actually affiliated with another creator. I'll post both creators down below. But again, she was a fantastic resource because she really broke down each stage of the OPT model with the acute variables and kind of got down into the nitty-gritty of this is what I really recommend you know, because after you're done going through the entire book, you can feel extremely overwhelmed, and it was really nice to have somebody say, like, this is essential, this is not. And then lastly, especially the latter half of my studying, really tried to apply what I was learning in my workouts. You guys know I take a couple of group classes a week, and I really tried to think about when I'm doing a movement, what are my overactive and underactive muscles? It's also really nice because you can apply what plane of motion am I in? What is this movement called? And what is the muscle that's the agonist versus the antagonist? All of those things you're learning as you're going through the material, just applying it as you're going through your workout. Not only are you physically getting a great workout in, but it's kind of a fun mental exercise too, to kind of rethink that in your mind and just apply it to real life. I think arguably, this is why most people are probably here, is you want to know, what do I need to know? So I definitely recommend going through all of the chapters and doing all of the quizzes. However, I do have a couple of areas that I recommend really focusing on because I think these are super essential and you'll see most of your questions are driven from here. Number one, know your muscles. Know where they are and know which kind of exercises would be involved in activating those muscles. I have a really good link down below. It's a little like practice mannequin that you can select muscles on. It's very basic. It doesn't get more than like the very superficial muscles, but it really hits probably 80% of the stuff that you're gonna be tested on. So definitely know your muscle systems and know where they are. Number two is know your underactive and overactive muscles and what that means. For example, if you have a client come in and they have upper cross syndrome, that means that they're gonna have overactive muscles in the front of their body here. They're gonna have underactive muscles in their lats. And really understanding that for overactive muscles, we wanna stretch those out. We wanna foam roll them, do any kind of release. For underactive muscles, we wanna strengthen them. Next is you really need to know the OPT model backwards and forwards. This is the training model that NASM uses and recommends that their students utilize when training clients. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it is what they will test you on. So know the 3 primary stages, know how they break down the strength stage in the middle, and understanding the acute variables in each of those. Knowing that stabilization is more functional, figuring out your form and making sure they have those primary movements down. Then you work into strength, then you work into hypertrophy, then you're talking about max lifting, and last is power. Pro tip here, if you have any question on the test where they talk about a medicine ball, it's likely in the power phase, so just keep that in mind. Lastly, I'd really be aware and understand the motivational and readiness flow that NASM talks about. These are your pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, and maintenance phases. These are what place is a potential client or a client in, depending on, are they working out? Are they working out consistently for 6 months? Are they not even thinking about working out? Just know those. I know it sounds like a silly thing to really focus on, but I got quite a few questions on my exam about this. And as long as you have an understanding of where clients fall in these, they're easy questions to get an answer correct on. All right, so what was the exam like? I took the online proctored exam. I felt very comfortable with the technology piece. And honestly, I'm just lazy and didn't want to drive anywhere. I will say it kind of depends on your personality as to which you prefer. I have had friends who have taken the one in person, and what they really liked about it was they didn't have to deal with some of the fussiness that I am about to tell you guys about. So with the online proctored exam, you will select a date and time. You get a 2-hour window. They do tell you that you can log in up to 30 minutes early, but it also depends if there's a proctor available. My window was 7 to 9. I logged in right before 7, and if you can log in early, I recommend it because it took me almost 35 minutes just to get through all of their security protocols and making sure that I had all of my paperwork needed. So couple of things that I think would be super helpful before you do the online proctored exam. Number one, I would run the security test that they send you when you sign up. When you sign up, you'll get an email and there'll be a link there to run their security protocol. It essentially makes sure that your computer is capable of being monitored appropriately during the exam so they know you're not cheating. I recommend running it. It basically tells you like, yes, your computer's good to go, or no, you need to do an update. On the day of the exam, you'll have to actually download a install that they'll give you, and it basically puts something on your computer to where they can make sure you're not opening applications that you shouldn't be. They also make you take videos of your entire room, floor to ceiling, all the way around. They took a video of my wrists, of my ears, everything. They're very serious about it. So I would recommend clearing your space beforehand. I really decluttered my office. I cleaned up my entire desk area and made it as simple on myself as possible. Although they did make me move my trash can. Don't really 100% understand that because I don't really think the dirty Kleenexes in there were gonna give me any answers, but it's whatever. But yeah, just declutter your space beforehand. Also of note, you can't have anything to drink except for water from a clear water bottle. My water bottle has color on it and I wasn't allowed to have it, so just make sure that that's put away. Another thing to keep in mind is you actually want to bring your cell phone into the exam with you because they make you take a video of putting it away from you. So just make sure you have it with you. I had turned it off and put it in the other room, and then I had to run to go get it during the setting up phase. And then lastly, don't wear any headbands unless they're for religious reasons. Don't have an Apple Watch or any other bracelets on, and just don't have anything in your ears other than basic jewelry because they will ask you to take that out. You do get 2 hours to take the exam. There are 120 questions. 20 of those are like test pilot questions. NASM is basically testing to see if these are questions they want to put on future exams. I have to say, it took me probably 40 minutes to do the exam once I got started. So I would just test yourself during your practice exams. The practice exams that they offer on the online format are only 100 questions, and you get a 2-hour time frame to complete it. So it's pretty accurate, but just keep in mind your time. So if you're struggling to get that in a 2-hour window, just work on picking up your pace so you'll be more successful for the real exam. Lastly, let's chat about results. I want to prepare everybody for this because I myself was unprepared. You actually find out your results right after the exam, or at least I did. Right afterwards, it prompted me to do a couple of different NASM surveys talking about, did the study options NASM gave me benefit me? What other courses would I be interested in? The whole 9 yards. Immediately after I filled those out, it pulled up a screen that told me if I passed or not, and I did. But just a heads up, I don't know if that's normal, but it was for me. So heads up, if you have any anxiety about finding out when you passed, you'll find out right away. I did get a formal email, I'd say within 45 minutes to an hour, telling me officially I had passed, sending me my letter. That likely depends on what day of the week and what time you're taking your test in. If they're super busy, that may take longer, but I got mine very quickly. And then lastly, my actual CPT license did not show up in my portal. I think it was 2 business days later. So just keep that in mind if you're looking to start applying. You can probably just send your letter, but heads up, you won't get your official license for a couple of business days. Anyways, guys, I hope that helped. I am super, super pumped and excited to see where this takes me, and just excited to take what I've already learned and apply it to real life. Please, if you liked this video or got anything from it, I would love for you to like and subscribe so you never miss a video in the future. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.